You're not all you could be, and there's pain in that. And there's the necessity for a certain amount of judgment about that, and even a certain amount of exclusion, because what you are that is insufficient, in some sense, should not be allowed to propagate further.
I have always tried to base my mindset around absolute competence, regardless of how I feel. I think a lot of people build their mindsets around trying to feel good. So that's why we were talking earlier about people who want to ignore the idea of personal responsibility or self-accountability because they feel better if they pretend it's not a real thing. They feel better if they pretend everything's someone else's fault. I get asked all the time, well, what do you feel? Or what about happiness or depression? That doesn't even, how I feel doesn't cross my mind. A lot of people's mental model and how they view the world is based around them feeling as good as possible. So when you sit there and talk to somebody who has the mask on and they refuse to believe the elites are laughing at them, it's not because they can't comprehend the ideas, it's because they feel better if they don't believe that they are a clown to the elites.
We were put here for a reason.
You're as competent as possible if you believe you can affect absolutely everything about your life. You're as competent as possible if you believe absolutely everything that's happened to you, whether good or bad, is completely your fault. You're as competent as possible if you believe the bad things that happen to you are going to allow you to work harder and become even better. When bad things happen to me, the first thing out of my mouth is good.
Why don't you just try to work as hard as you can at your damn job for like 6 weeks? Right, all flat out. You know, if you work 10% longer hours, you make 40% more money. That little extra bit of work done without cynicism and resentment might be enough.
In the ultra-competitive world that we've just discussing that everybody wants the things you have, why would you absorb information or construct a mental model that doesn't allow you to be as competitive as possible? If you take a man and give him a life shielded from problems and he never has any to face, I guarantee you he's terrible at being a man.
You could start walking this pathway that makes things better, and the thing is that as soon as you start walking the pathway that makes things better, then things immediately become better because your whole orientation changes. And you know, if you're in a bad place but you're escaping, that's pretty positive.
And if you truly hated being in the position you were in, you wouldn't be there very long. I would love to do a podcast on a day where I'm particularly sad and a podcast on a day when I'm particularly happy, and I guarantee you, you wouldn't be able to tell the fucking difference. Every time I feel stressed or under pressure, I get excited. I'm certainly not a person who doesn't feel emotions because we're all human. I certainly do. But I've never prioritized them. The best thing you can do as a man is look and go, okay, this is hard, this is hard, this is hard, this is hard. I feel negative because these are all so difficult. I'm struggling with X, Y, Z. Let me internalize all of that and turn it into a superpower.
You feel a degree of uncomfortableness inside of your mind, I think it's just your mind telling you that something about your life needs to change.
Yes.
You need to get up and change something. Guys would say to me, I'm depressed because I'm fat and I have no girlfriend. And I'd say, no, you have no girlfriend and you're fat and that's why you're depressed. If you go change those two things, you'd probably be surprised that your disease goes away. But I say, if you're an 18-year-old boy or 18-year-old man and your life is pretty much okay, bacteria didn't steal your eyesight, which could have happened. You never had a car crash and lost both of your legs, which could have happened. You're actually very fortunate. And you wake up and you say, I'm depressed. I think you're an idiot.
What an opportunity we have, because tomorrow's the first day of the rest of our lives. So what an opportunity we have to practice.
You might say that someone who is incapable of cruelty is a higher moral being than someone who is capable of cruelty, and I would say that that's incorrect, and it's dangerously incorrect, because if you are not capable of cruelty, you are a victim to anyone who is.